Conservative New Media viewers, LA Lakers fans around the world, Jeremy Lin fans around the world. What's up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We're here to discuss the Lakers' 127-117 defeat tonight to the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. With the loss, the Lakers dropped to 18-51 on the year. Thunder improved to 41-30. What happened in the game? What happened in the game was that OKC got off to a strong start in the first quarter. They won the first quarter by 10 points. They won the second quarter by 5 points. So at halftime, they're up 15, and from there, they just kind of coasted into the win. The Lakers were slightly better than them scoring in the second half, but really, Oklahoma City was never threatened in this game, and they just were content to trade baskets with the Lakers, feeling like they could outscore the Lakers, and that's basically what they did in this game. So there wasn't a huge amount of defense in this game, and that's kind of what happened. Let's go over stats really quickly. For the Thunder, they were led by Russell Westbrook with 27 points and 11 assists. Enes Kanter, 25 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists. Steven Adams, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Dion Waiters, 23 points. And Anthony Morrow came off the bench for 12 points. The Lakers had a new starting lineup tonight, and it included Jeremy Lin as well as Ryan Kelly, so those two are back into the starting roles. They were led by Jordan Clarkson, who had a terrific night, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Jordan also had 3 blocks. Ryan Kelly, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Off the bench, Ed Davis, 12 points, 3 rebounds. Wayne Ellington, 15 points, 3 rebounds, coming off the bench as well, since Jeremy basically replaced him in the starting lineup. Jeremy Lin, 19 points in 30 minutes played, 6 of 11 shooting from the field, including 2 of 2 from three-point range, 5 of 6 on free throws, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, no steals, no blocked shots, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. Jeremy's plus-minus was a minus 20, which was the worst on either team, I believe. I don't think there's a lot to that stat. It just, I don't know, when Jeremy was on the court, the Lakers didn't get a lot done. I thought Jeremy played very well tonight. I'll go over some things specifically in a bit. The only thing, I mean, really, there's nothing you can knock on him tonight. I thought his defense was solid. He had the 2 turnovers. They came in a quick bundle early in the game, and then after that, nothing. He totally settled in. His jump shot looked good, the same way that it looked good in the last game against the Sixers. He did a good job against Russell Westbrook. I thought Westbrook fouled Lin 3 times, I believe. So I thought Jeremy played really well in this game. I do. I have no problem with anything about this game, including that they did not play Jeremy in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. I think at that point, the interim head coach, Paul Pressey, who's filling in for Byron Scott, who's mourning the passing of his mother, I think he just was like, well, look, we're going to lose. We've got a game tomorrow night. Let's just give Jeremy a little bit of extra rest here, and let's play the young guys or guys who didn't play as much. Jordan Clarkson's young. He can play all day. And then Wayne Ellington, I believe, was the other person who finished up the game. So I have no issues with anything. The PER for Jeremy's going to go up. From a statistical perspective, Jeremy was great tonight, except for the plus-minus. And you can't control that individually. That is dependent on your team as well. It's how the team performs versus how the other team performs. So that's not an individual entity that you can control. So shooting was over 50%, 100% on three-pointers, 80-something% on free throws, and you had a better than 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, 19 points scored. I mean, you're not going to get a lot better than that. So I'm completely content and ready to move on to the Minnesota game tomorrow. Okay, now let's go over quickly what was going on before the game. Not a lot, except, of course, that Jeremy was going to be reinserted into the starting lineup, which, of course, is what happened. I did want to say something, though, and I did say this on Twitter, and I'll say it here in the video after the Philadelphia game, or even before. There was discussion in the media, in the Lakers media, about, well, Jeremy's inconsistent again. He didn't play well against Utah, but then he played well against the Sixers. Utah, since the All-Star break, has had the best defense in the league by a considerable margin. They're very difficult to score against the way that they're playing defense right now. Since the All-Star break, Jeremy has played, now he's played 16 games. And in 5 of those, he scored double in single digits. Well, 2 of the 5 came against Utah. And that wasn't a coincidence. That's because Utah's defense has been dominating. They got Rudy Gobert there in the middle blocking shots. They're making it difficult. And my point of all this was Jeremy is actually being more consistent than people are giving him credit for. He's actually showing a lot of consistency, but it's not in the statistics. It's in the way that he's approaching the game. What he's doing now is he's consistently making good decisions with the basketball. And what that looks like is when he's the point guard and he's controlling the action. When you're playing a defense that's not as good, like the Sixers, then Jeremy's going to score a bunch of points because there are more opportunities. But when you are playing a team with a very good defense, like Utah, he's not going to score as much because he's not going to take as many shots. So in the Sixers game, I can't remember how many shot attempts he had. I don't know, like 15, 17. In the last Utah game, he only had 8. He hit 1 of 8. And so what he's doing there is he's saying, you know what? I'm not going to be able to get a bunch of easy baskets in this game, so I'm going to move the ball more and try to get other guys who have a better chance of scoring than I do. And that's what he's doing. So that's actually, he's demonstrating intelligent, consistent decision-making now. And that's the Linsanity Prime method, which is don't force, go with the flow, pull back a little bit, and when you need to lean on your teammates more, then do that. And so that's what happened against Utah twice. That's what happened against the Atlanta Hawks. That's what happened somewhat against the Golden State Warriors. And that's what happened in the Dallas game, also since the All-Star break. 3 of those teams are exceptional on defense, and I also should throw in Memphis as well. 4 of those teams 3 of them are really good on defense. Utah, Memphis, and Atlanta, and Golden State, Dallas isn't a great defensive team, but they know that they have to pay attention to Jeremy because the head coach, Rick Carlisle, has said that before. So they focus on Jeremy, which makes them a little tougher for Jeremy to deal with. But again, if you're being focused on by a defense, that means someone else on your team isn't being focused on. So your job is to get them the ball because they're going to get a better shot than what you're getting. And so I think Jeremy's consistency is getting much, much improved. And I don't think that the Lakers media is accurately reflecting that. I just think there's some lazy reporting going on there. And, look, it happens. I mean, it's just that's the way it is. But I wanted to point that out. Okay, let's discuss some particular plays from the game. Okay, Jeremy had both of his turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the game. Now, remember, Jeremy hasn't started in about 2 months, and he's not used to I don't know if he's used to playing with these guys right now, like Jordan and Tarek. It's a big game. He's back to the starting role, so he's a little bit geeked up. I didn't think either turnover was that bad. The first turnover was he drove to the middle of the lane. He looked to pass. He picked up his dribble, so he stopped dribbling. He wanted to pass, and then he wanted to shoot, and then he decided to pass again. And he tried to hand the ball off to Tarek Black. And it was just a little bit of miscommunication. It wasn't a big thing, but it became a turnover. Then the second turnover and final turnover came with the Lakers were coming down on a fast break, and Jeremy was on the right side of the court, kind of like the middle right. And what he was doing was he was letting the rest of his teammates catch up to him. So like, okay, Jeremy kind of is hovering around, dribbling around the free throw line on the right side, and now Jordan Clarkson runs by, and then someone else runs by. Jeremy thought that one of the teammates was going to set up in a particular spot on the left side, and they didn't. And so basically Jeremy threw the ball to where he thought somebody was going to be, and they weren't there. Ultimately, the responsibility of that does lie with Jeremy, but I think that, like I said, he felt someone was going to be in a certain spot, and they weren't there. So it didn't look great early. It's like, oh, no, he's starting again, and we're going to have super turnovers, but didn't end up that way at all. His turnovers per 36 number is going to go down tonight, which is good. So he just needed to kind of get in the flow a little bit, and so did the team. And so once those couple of minutes were over, that was it. He was locked in and feeling good. First shot of the game that he took, he took a three-pointer off the dribble, meaning that he dribbled into it from about 40 degrees left of the top of the arc with Russell Westbrook on him. And he nailed it, drilled it. Soon after that, he had an assist to Wes Johnson for a dunk in transition after a steal by the Lakers. That was a really nice play. Now, there were people on Twitter saying Jeremy should have gotten credit for like 3 steals. Jenny showed me 2 of them, and I agree that one of them should have been a steal. The other one wasn't Jeremy's steal. So just because you end up with the ball after a steal is made doesn't mean that you get credit for the steal. Like on one of the plays, Ryan Kelly deflected the ball, and then the ball ended up in Jeremy's hands. Jeremy shouldn't get credit for that steal. Ryan Kelly should. However, there was one play where I believe it was either Mitch McGary or Steven Adams had the ball underneath the Thunder basket. I think he'd gotten an offensive rebound, and then Jeremy poked the ball away from him. Well, that should have been a steal. The only way it's not a steal is if like they gave Jeremy credit for a rebound. Like if they would say, okay, nobody had real possession on the ball after the rebound, and then Jeremy got possession. That does happen. That can happen. To me, it looked like a rebound and then a steal. But I'd have to go and see how the NBA scored it. So I did think that Jeremy could have gotten one more assist in this game. I don't remember when it was. He passed the ball out. Oh, yeah, no, it's the middle of the first. I actually do have it written down here. Jeremy passed the ball out to Ryan Kelly on the three-point line. Ryan Kelly then faked like he was going to shoot a three-pointer and drove to the basket and dunked the ball. Now, Ryan Kelly did dribble, and he did make a move after Jeremy got him the ball, but that's kind of where the there's an interpretation about what is an assist and what is not an assist. I can tell you right now, there's no way that Ryan Kelly would have gotten a dunk unless Jeremy passed him the ball right there. So I thought that should have been Jeremy's assist, but that's a judgment call. So it's not something I would I'm not going to contact the NBA about that because it's not real clear cut. Some plays are very clear, like when the Lakers turned the ball over and they say Jeremy turned the ball over and he didn't throw the ball. That's clearly a mistake. But then other plays, like some of these steals and assists, they're not as clear cut. So just have to, sometimes you just got to roll with it, you know. Okay, moving on, middle of the first and into late in the first. Jeremy got his third score of the game. He got a nice little, just a little layup, kind of driving from the right-hand side. Then he had an assist to Tarek Black for a dunk. That was great. He drove on the left-hand side, kind of drew the man, just dished it right off to Tarek for an easy dunk. Then he had his fourth score of the game. Excuse me. He did the little probe dribble, like, you know, the Steve Nash dribble through the lane. And then he stopped. And I can't remember who was guarding him at that point. I think one of the big men. He did what is known as a step-through move, which is basically like a low-post move, like a big man type of move. A step-through is where you stop your dribble and like one of your feet is behind the other one. So like your left foot is in front of the right foot by a considerable amount. And then the defender, the legs of the defender are kind of in between where your left foot is and where your right foot is. And so what you do is you take the foot that is behind you or the foot that is back and you step over the defender. So you step over their legs to kind of change your shot angle and then you shoot the ball. That was a really nice move. That was a really nice move by Jeremy. It was nice to see him do that. And look, he does need to keep working on floaters and runners and such, but he's very crafty around the basket. He's very good at getting shots that most guys wouldn't be able to get without getting blocked. And that was another example of it right there. You do not see a lot of guards make that type of a move. So it's just, I was happy to see him do it. Okay, then he just kind of kept rolling. Jeremy did most of his damage tonight in the first half, which is not typical for him. Usually he's more of a second half guy, but the second half of the game was out of control. So and he didn't get as much time. So, whatever. Okay, moving on into the second half here. I'm just looking if there's anything particularly noteworthy. Late in the second, or excuse me, I'm moving on to the second quarter. I said the second half. That's incorrect. Then late in the second, Jeremy had his second and final three-pointer of the game. And this was a catch-and-shoot three-pointer from about 40 degrees left of the top of the arc. Again, Jordan Clarkson found him. Jeremy was just set up, and bang, he just knocked it down. Look, his shot looks real good these last two games. So maybe now we can get on a little bit of a streak with the shooting. That would be nice. That would help his scoring and certainly help his percentages. And this is what I envision that Jeremy is going to become over time. A very good and consistent shooter on his jump shots, including from the three-point line. He keeps working at it. He keeps working at it with his shot coach, Doc, and just give it time. And then, he's not going to shoot 100% all the time or anything, but you're going to see more of this type of a thing, what we've seen over the last two games with his shot. And so I think I think that's going to be happening in the time to come. And that's just going to make him that much harder to guard. When he can hit jump shots consistently, hit three-pointers consistently, he can draw fouls almost any time he wants. I mean, he can just be a scoring machine. And that's where we're on our way there right now. So it's good to see. Okay, then early in the third quarter, he had just a terrific crossover move against Russell Westbrook. Jeremy was driving on the right, kind of close to the right baseline in that area. And he was dribbling from his left to his right. So when he did the crossover move, he went from his left hand to his right hand. He just did a quick little move and just dusted Russell. And then Russell fouled him after the play because I think Russell didn't want him to hit the shot. Because if he had hit the shot, then that would have been on highlight loops forever. And so Russell's like, no. I'm going to foul him just so he doesn't make this shot. But look, one of the things I've said about with Jeremy in terms of improvement that he needs is these one-on-one perimeter moves. Well, that was a fantastic move. And he does have these. He just needs to continue to work on them and give him time. We've seen this throughout the year. I mean, we've seen it before, but we've definitely seen it this year. Some of these really quick, bang, perimeter moves that he does have. And what will happen over time is that he'll get even better with them. And his handling of the ball will get even better. And then he'll add a couple other moves. So expect that to continue to progress as well. Just as I've said with some other aspects of his game, give it another 2 years. Give it another 2 to 3 years, and then you're going to see a complete, extremely skilled player who can do pretty much whatever he wants to do within reason. So it's, these are just like little visions of what's to come, basically, as long as Jeremy stays healthy. So that was definitely a great move that he put there on right there. Okay, then he got fouled again. So early in the third, he was fouled 3 times. 2 of them by Russell Westbrook and another one by Steven Adams. So he just gotten in his mind he was going to get fouled, and that's exactly what he was doing. And Russell Westbrook had 3 fouls in this game, and I think all of them came while guarding Jeremy Lin. So Russell wasn't slowing him down very much. Okay. Then Jeremy came out of the game late in the third, and I made a note that I said that I thought that Paul Pressey, the acting head coach, was wanting to split Jeremy and Jordan up. The reason why I say that is at that point in the game, the Lakers had a total of about 14 assists, and 12 of them were from Jeremy and Jordan. So in other words, you have 2 ball handlers on the court at the same time. Well, what happens when they have to rest? So I was thinking maybe, okay, keep Jordan out here, and then when Jordan has to rest, put Jeremy in, because now you have somebody who can make plays on the court at all times. That's what I think what Pressey was thinking. And so to start the fourth, that's exactly what he did. Jordan came out to rest, and then Jeremy was out there to make plays. Now, my thinking was that Jeremy was going to play the entire fourth quarter. And I think he would have if the score was closer. But once the score got out of hand, then my guess is Paul Pressey says, well, we got a game tomorrow. Let's rest him. So I don't think there was anything nefarious or bad about how Paul Pressey put Jeremy's minutes tonight. I think it was just dictated by the circumstances of wanting to have somebody on the court at all times to make plays between Jordan and Jeremy. And because the score got out of control late in the fourth. So I think that's what it was. And that's fine. Like I said, Jeremy doesn't have to play 38 minutes every night, particularly, when you're into a back-to-back. If you're Jeremy Lin right now, you just want to get through the next 13 games and be healthy, and that's it. So you don't need to be run into the ground right now. Okay, moving on into the fourth. The announcer said that Jeremy has played better since the All-Star break. These were the Laker announcers. Of course, that is correct. We have gone over the statistics for that, and there's simply no question about that. Also, it seemed like after halftime, Oklahoma City was paying even more attention to Jeremy when Oklahoma City was on defense. Now, I thought they were double-teaming him some or kind of hedging or blitzing the pick and rolls before halftime. But after halftime, it seemed like they were doing it even a little bit more. So there might have been some added emphasis on guarding Jeremy after they talked at halftime. And Jeremy had a missed layup and a blocked layup. And then Jeremy came out of the game for good with about 5 minutes left. And the score at that time was Oklahoma City was up 19 points. So the game was over. It was over. So I think that's what Paul Pressey was thinking. And putting somebody like, keeping Jordan out there, a lot of people are like, oh, he's padding his stats. Jordan's a rookie. I mean, he's a young guy that's whatever he is, 21 or whatever. You can play forever when you're that age. You had a couple more years under your belt, like Jeremy. You don't want to play 38 minutes every game. You just don't want to do that. You know, when you can get rest, get your rest. So, I think that's kind of where Paul Pressey was coming from. I doubt Jeremy would have any issue with it whatsoever. Okay, Jeremy's efficiency by quarter, just looking at my stats here, he had 8 efficiency in the first quarter, 9 efficiency in the second quarter, 2 efficiency in the third quarter, and 1 efficiency in the fourth quarter. So again, he had a 20 efficiency for the night in 30 minutes, which is very good. The PER is definitely going up. And 17 of the 20 units came in the first half. So, look, he did what he could do to keep the team in the game. I think the rest of the team just wasn't as focused as maybe Jeremy was. Also, the Lakers got crushed on the inside in this game. They got totally out-rebounded. Their big men just got demolished. So regardless of what Jeremy or Jordan Clarkson did in this game, I think that deficit on the inside was too much for the Lakers to overcome. It didn't, no matter what Jeremy or Jordan did, it wasn't going to be enough because they just could not deal with the inside game of Oklahoma City. And that's kind of what ended up happening. So, that's about it. So let's take a look at the next game coming up, which I said, again, as I said, is tomorrow against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight was the first of a 5-game road trip for the Lakers, and of course, then tomorrow will be the second game, and it'll be nice to kind of get it over with. That game will take place Wednesday, March 25th, again in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, which means it'll take place 8 a.m. on Thursday, March 26th in China, Taiwan, and in the Philippines. The Wolves are not a good team. They're a young team. They're basically on the Lakers level. Now they seem to be resting guys even more, so they seem to be completely embracing the tank as the Lakers have. They do have some rookies, of course, Andrew Wiggins and Zach LaVine, who did well against Jeremy the last time these two teams played, I believe it was, or certainly one of the times they played this year. Look good. My guess is that the game against the Wolves will look a lot like this game. The Wolves aren't as good offensively as the Thunder are, but I have a feeling we're going to see like a lot of what we saw tonight, which is a lot of offense and not as much defense. Which, look, if you're a player, that's okay because you get to put up stats. And we'll see. That's what I think. I think there's a good chance we'll see something along those lines tomorrow night. Okay, that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Your comments below. Thanks to Gary Chen for the artwork you're looking at now. Gary's a member of the Jeremy Only Lynn Garden Fan Club, which is based in Taiwan and has members all around the world. We appreciate Gary letting us use his stuff. We appreciate everything that Jeremy Only Lynn Garden has done for us and for many other Jeremy fans. So you'll see in the video description below the video player information so you can go check out Gary on his Facebook page and also how you can learn more about the Jeremy Only Lynn Garden fan group itself. We'll also put information for video highlights of this game so you can go and check those out, and how you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group, and how you can come and follow us on Twitter. We have a lot of fun interacting with people on the Twitter. So you can go, and we encourage you to come and follow us there as well. Once again, I am PFE Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Look, I'm very pleased with this game. I'm really happy that Jeremy played well again. There were a lot of people, like doubter types, that were hoping and thinking he wasn't going to do well after he had the monster game against Philadelphia. Well, that wasn't the case. He did well. He backed up the performance against Philly. He did well on the road. He did well against a good team. Let's just keep it going. And we've got a good Linsanity Prime roll going here. Just like I said, forget about the stats from like Utah and Atlanta games. Jeremy's playing in the right way. He's playing the right way. Now, there will be ups and downs. There will be some games better than others, but we're far down the avenue here on Linsanity Prime Avenue. So let's just keep going. Just keep playing like this, and let's just close out strong and get ready for free agency to come. So I could not be happier. I'm totally pumped up with how he played tonight. So it is all good. Okay, that's it for now. Hope you're having a great night or great day wherever you are around the world when you check out this video. Take care. We'll look for you in the comments and on Twitter, and we will talk to you again soon.